What do you use your phone for?
Phoning and texting.
Has it got internet on there? Or?
It does have internet access, but it costs so much that I don't use it.
So it's not in your package?
No.
Do you play any games on your phone?
I don't play games on my phone, I play them on my iPod Touch. The Civilizations and just some generic, like, flicky ones.
Do you pay for them?
No, I had to pay for those.
How much?
I paid about £2 for the Civilizations game, which is quite a big one. And then the flicky games, a lot of those are free, or 59p.
What's the most you think you'd pay for a game?
Oh, no more than £4. I think they're a bit of a waste of time.
Why?
I don't know, I think you can do more constructive things with your life than play games. I prefer to read a good book. I play games on social networking sites. But,
which ones?
Like My Farm and all that sort of stuff, which are quite fun. But again, I sort of soon realised that I could be doing something more proactive.
I've got most of the games on the App Store. Angry Birds, Flick Football.
You said football's that sports, and do you have like action adventure?
Yeah, all sorts of action adventure games. I love puzzle games as well.
Puzzle and strategy. What about arcade?
Arcade games, plenty of arcade games.
So all genres of gaming you're into?
Yeah, I really like it. Quizzes as well. I like quiz gaming.
Oh, would you say you're a casual gamer or a hardcore gamer?
I'm probably a hardcore gamer. Yeah.
What's the best game you've ever played?
Modern Warfare, Call of Duty. It's not on the phone, but
it's a popular one. And how many hours a week would you say you spend playing?
On my phone, probably easily about 2 hours a day. I'm always on the train or I'm always on the bus, so it's just an easy way to kill time.
And what's the most you've paid for a game?
£6.99.
Have you ever paid for virtual items?
No.
And would you? Is that something you would do?
I would do, yeah. If I was really into the game, there was something I really wanted to have.
Do you ever share your scores?
I use the Game Centre on my iPhone.
Right.
And that connects you and your friends who are all gaming on the iPhone. So we're really competitive.
So is that really important to you?
To me personally, yeah. I like to see my name on top of the table.
Would you change your handset manufacturer?
I don't think so.
What do you use it for?
Phone calls, messages, playing games, Angry Birds, just everything really.
And what kinds of games are you into most? Like puzzle, strategy, arcade, action?
More action than arcade.
And have you ever paid for a game?
Yeah.
What's the most you've paid?
£2.99 I think.
Would you spend a bit more than that on a game if you like the game?
Only if it looks good.
Where do you get your games from?
The App Store.
How much time would you say you spend playing the games on your phone?
The majority of the time.
And what about your handset? Would you consider changing that to a different phone?
No, I like my phone.
And what about social networking?
I'm on Facebook, Twitter.
Do you use them a lot?
Not really.
You're not big on them? Why are you on there then?
I don't know, I just am.
Do you ever share your scores? Are you competitive? Do you play against friends?
I just play for fun, to be honest.
Just for yourself? Do you play any games on your phone at all?
Not really.
Okay. Are there games on there?
Yes.
Okay. Do you use the internet a lot on your phone? What sites are you going on?
Facebook.
And what do you use Facebook for?
Mostly for keeping up to date with events going on where I live.
What about the games on Facebook? Have you ever played any of those? No.
No.
How many hours a week would you say you spend on networking sites?
2. A couple of years ago I would have said about 12.
Now you've got a Samsung, would you stick with a Samsung or?
I think I would actually.
So you wouldn't be tempted to upgrade to something like an iPhone or a BlackBerry just because they seem to be the most popular?
No, I don't think I would actually, because I thought I would initially, but actually the more I spend time with my Samsung, the more I realise that it's got a lot of good qualities.
Now, do you have a PC at home or a laptop?
I do, yes.
And do you have any games on there?
Solitaire.
I use it essentially for work, but I also listen to music off it. I don't really play any games on it at all.
Okay.
A lot of different applications. I go into newspapers, internet sites. It's hooked up to Facebook directly, so I look at all my updates on Facebook. Sometimes post replies. It's also hooked up to LinkedIn, hooked up to Windows Live.
So you do a lot of social networking and you're on a few websites and things like that, but not so much gaming?
No, not really. I don't think I've done any gaming at all. There was a Rugby World Cup application. I used to go in there.
Have you paid for an app?
I think I have, yeah. I think I've probably paid for a couple of business apps, maybe €2-3, something like that.
How long would you say you spend on Facebook or Twitter?
I would say not that much. I mean, I would say I probably look at it about probably a couple of times a day.
Now you've got the HTC and you're happy with it, would you say you've got some sort of loyalty to the handset manufacturer, or would you be willing to upgrade to a different phone next time?
I think I'd still be willing to upgrade. I personally think that Windows Phone is a very good phone. The fact that it's a HTC phone, for me, it doesn't really, where, the apps, Facebook, all of that doesn't really change, I don't think.
What app store are you using?
It's a marketplace, Windows Marketplace. Yeah.
And can you think of any others off the top of your head where you would go to acquire apps?
Well, HTC have their own one as well. Orange have their own one. I know about the Android App Store and the Apple one as well.
Yeah.
So.
Do you play games?
I play games, yeah.
What games do you play?
Games. Angling games. I quite like fishing games, sports games.
What about puzzle strategy?
Yes. Can't remember any of the names.
Action adventure?
I get bored very quickly, so I tend to download them, play them for a few times, and then to get rid of them. Running Man, that kind of thing.
What's the most you've paid for a game?
I only download free games.
Why?
Because I don't like paying for apps.
Would you ever pay for an app?
It has to be something very specific. It's a valuable tool for me. Yeah, exactly. Games for me don't necessarily always come under that category.
And how much time would you say you spend playing the games on your mobile phone?
Daily, maybe 5 minutes.
A casual gamer?
Yeah. Kill a bit of time. I tend to give my phone to my nephew or my niece.
Okay.
They'll end up playing games or downloading more games for me.
What app store or website do you use to download apps and games?
iTunes.
Is that the only one?
Yeah.
Off the top of your head, can you think of any others?
Android Marketplace. I can't remember any of the names of the independent ones, but I know there are a few out there.
So social networking sites.
Yeah.
How long do you spend on them?
Too long. I even have an app on my desktop that tells me how long I spend on social networking sites. So I use Facebook, Twitter, TweetDeck for all of them. I've used it for personal posts, keeping in touch with friends, for the business.
Have you ever played any of the games on Facebook?
I got dragged into The Sims Social, which is very addictive. Don't play it, you'll lose hours of your life.
What about virtual items? Have you ever paid for those? Would you ever?
No, I haven't.
Is that just a step too far?
Yeah, I think so. I've not found a platform or a game or anything that offers an in-app purchase that I feel is worth paying for. And I like the model. I think the model's great. So it's called
you think it works?
The freemium model, yeah, to offer apps on a free basis and then monetize it through in-app purchases. If it was a game that I really liked, or if it was an app that had content that I really liked, like a cooking app, for instance, where you could buy additional recipes, that kind of thing, and it had a recipe that I wanted, I would do it.
And lastly, I just want to know, you said how much you love your iPhone, but how loyal are you to the iPhone now? Do you think that's it for you?
I'm very loyal to the iPhone.
You wouldn't consider upgrading to a different phone like a BlackBerry or
possibly. The only other phone I'd consider at the moment is a Samsung, which
Galaxy.
is like a LCD TV screen. The size of that screen, the clarity of that screen, possibly. But if the iPhone 5 is developed and released with a screen that size, then I like the operating system. I like the interactivity, how the phone engages you. I think it's a really great bit of kit.
Can you actually say anything negative about the iPhone?
Negative about the iPhone? Yeah, it breaks very easily.
Really.
What games have you got on there?
Quite a lot of games actually.
Which ones?
Loads. I've got Words with Friends is one of the popular ones at the minute.
Yeah.
Safari Party.
Yeah.
What was the last one I downloaded? Catchphrase.
Right.
Pretty good.
So a few puzzle strategy.
Yeah.
What about any arcade games?
Not really.
Sports?
No.
What's the most have you spent on a game?
£1.49.
What would be your maximum limit?
Probably £1.49.
Okay.
Because I get bored of them quite easily.
What do you think game developers can do to keep you hooked on the same game? Like what, the Angry Birds series, keep playing the Angry Birds game.
I played Angry Birds for a bit. I didn't play it that much though.
Okay.
But I like the updates, when they update and give you new levels.
What about in-app purchases?
If it was free and then you had to pay for levels, yeah. If I enjoyed the free one, then I would pay for the
Have you done that before?
Yeah.
Which game?
Always up.
What's the best game you've ever played?
Cut the rope. There's loads of levels. You can always do it over and over again, score higher.
What do you use it for?
A few apps, yeah. A few games.
Okay.
A couple of little driving ones. I got the Audi A4 and a couple other ones. But
have you ever paid for a game or an app?
Yeah, I had a rash of buying a few new ones, but haven't for a while.
Is that just because you're not massively into gaming?
I guess I'd rather play free ones. If it was good and I wanted it, I'd probably buy it.
What's the most you would think you would spend on a game or an app?
Probably about £1, unless it was something I was totally addicted to. And I'd probably rather get that for console than for phone.
How much gameplay and time would you say you spend on your mobile device?
If Southwest Trains play me up, it's probably about half an hour on the way home.
Where do you usually go to acquire your game or app? What websites or what app store do you use?
iTunes for the iPhone.
Finally, what's the best game you've ever bought or played?
F1 on the Wii. The skiing games. I'm a skier.
So you're a bit of a sportsman?
No, armchair sportsman.